In your opening statements, you mentioned that one of the ways you wish to correct economic issues is to raise the minimum wage. I guess I'd like you to explain to me how raising the minimum wage, which forces an employer to pay their employees more, how that would not also force them to charge more for either their services or their products, and put us right back in the same position where we started.
Happily. I'll happily have that conversation. So, we've had a number of states have raised their minimum wage, and the prediction was that they were going to see economic slowdown. And in fact, the exact opposite happened. Their economies tipped up. And the reason they tipped up is where people have money in their pocket. And when people have money in their pocket, they spend it. We're not a great country of savers, unfortunately, and we should be, but we're not. So when there's more money in people's pocket, they go and spend it. Now let's talk about the mega employers out there, right? The Walmarts of the world. I have a lot of clients that work at Walmart. They work full-time, 40 hours. They're paid just little enough that they qualify for every government service. They get themselves on the list for HUD, housing assistance. Their kids qualify for free or reduced lunch. They qualify for food stamps. So who's subsidizing that low wage? I am. You are. Our government is subsidizing the low wage. So if I have a choice between subsidizing large employers or building a social safety net, I would much prefer that the weight on our social safety net lessen, our employers pick up the obligation to pay a living wage, because the idea that you could work full-time in America and still earn below the poverty line, I don't think that's who we are as a nation. And maybe I'm wrong and we might differ on that, but it doesn't sit well with me. And our minimum wage, earning capacity, adjusted for inflation, we're earning less than we did in the 60s. I don't know how many of you in this room try to live on 7 1/4, 40 hours a week. It's incredibly difficult to do without the support of food stamps, housing assistance, and so on. It's difficult to do at 9 1/4. It's tough to do at 10. I handle child support cases. I do the math with these folks every day. It is terribly difficult to do. So for me, if you compare Walmart to a Costco, for example, Costco's average wage is $17. They're profitable. They have lower turnover, and people stay longer at their company, still making a profit, not going bankrupt, right? So I see these very real examples and ask the question why we're not moving in that direction.
I think we really need to be dedicated to lifting people out of poverty and towards greater opportunity. I'm not sure minimum wage is the best, raising minimum wage is the best way to do that, because as you do, when you think about the places that pay minimum wage, they tend to be those places where the basic staples in life, whether it's gasoline for in your car, the groceries that you need to put in your refrigerator, to put on your table to feed your family. And common sense would tell you that when you raise the cost of doing business, businesses want to raise the cost on the consumers. And the very people who are making and living it and just barely getting by are going to find themselves with greater costs in the grocery stores, in the gas stations. I think there's a solution here, to tell you the truth, and that's providing opportunities for people for greater opportunity for folks. That's one of my passions is education. I'm on the Education Workforce Committee, on the K through 12, and I'm the Higher Education Subcommittee. I co-chair the Congressional Career and Technical Education Caucus. I envision an educational system that's probably different from what we normally think about when we think about elementary and secondary and higher education. I envision an education system that anyone at any point in their lifetime can plug into, they can connect with, to be able to get a little bit of training or a lot of training, to get that better job, to get that raise, to get that more money, to pick themselves out of poverty. I really believe that the key to battling poverty, there's a lot of factors and issues that go into poverty, but it is education and training and providing affordable access to that training. I'm very proud that the first increase in over 10 years to the Career and Technical Education funding actually came with my leadership as co-chairing that caucus. And that's a commitment that I make to work on each and every day of lifting people up so they have greater opportunity. Quite frankly, if you raise the cost of staples, you'll put more people into poverty. because the poverty level over the years has increased. Thank you.